How was it like playing through the pandemic or taking time off? We usually have a busy hockey schedule, but the pandemic really forced us to stop and think. So how did you kind of have to adjust?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was fortunate last year to be in a league that started on time, and the first year we missed playoffs, and that was obviously a strange time. That was at the very beginning of everything, and I think that was just an uncertain time for everyone. And for me, I just I my son was born about 2 months before all that started, so I had a lot going on at home. I was thankful to be at home and to spend so much time with family. And last year obviously was very strange just playing without fans. It's a completely different type of game, I think, without that energy that you get from the crowd. And
Was it a little bit eerie almost in a sense? Like, did you have more of a voice in your head with no fans in the crowd? Like, what was it like?
yeah, I mean, I think for one, you can hear everyone talking on the ice, which is a little strange. Everything echoes throughout the building, and it's kind of like a practice scenario where you know where guys when they're calling for pucks, and if they're on breakouts, maybe what they're trying to do. And so I think it made things a little challenging in a sense, just because you're used to not having that be the case. The crowd kind of insulates that, and you got to yell just for a guy to hear you. And usually you can talk to only the guy that's right beside you. But when you're called for the puck, now the whole arena would hear you. And that was a bit of adjustment. But I think, like I said, it was a different style of game almost. And to have them back, yeah, it's night and day difference, I think.
Well, currently you're playing in Landshut, Germany. Did I
Yeah,
say it right?
you did, yeah.
Yeah, okay. What's the hockey world like in Germany?
Germany's, yeah, they're very hockey crazy. I think you kind of got to see that with the Olympics in, I think it was at 2018 there. They won the silver medal, and they've have a great junior program, and that goes into their pro game too. They love hockey here. Every rink's usually sold out, and you can feel the passion around the town. And we have derbies just like soccer. So the teams that are close to you, there's a bit of an extra rivalry, and those games usually get a little crazier in the crowd. They'll have banners and signs and the scarves going, and it's just a completely different atmosphere, I think, than North America.
You're from Terrace, British Columbia. You've played all across North America. You mentioned Austria, Germany. That's a lot of miles traveled. Some would say your path comes with an uncertainty. How do you deal with that uncertainty?
It comes with the territory. I think, there's obviously a handful of guys in the world that are blessed to have more than a 1 or 2 year contract. And especially having a family now, it's something that for me, figuring out what's coming next, or at least what's on the side, and then having a little bit of a mindset that's further down the road is, kind of keeps me in line a little bit. I think, especially in the summertime, if the contract's not there right away, or you're waiting for free agency to start, you can dig yourself into a bit of a hole, maybe mentally. But I think I've been there, enough times now where that's not the case. And there's a lot of downtime as a hockey player with your schedule. You have practice and stuff, but we are done the workday quite a bit earlier than most people, and you have a lot of time to be idle and switching from video games to learning things, and trying to educate myself. I think just trying to stay busy that way really helps with I think when you sit there and you're inactive, the anxiety or those kind of things can really come into play. But I think when you have a bit of a proactive approach to things, you understand that as long as you're taking care of what you can take care of, then everything else will work out just fine.
Can you tell us a little bit about, what you're working on outside of hockey or how you're evolving as a human being?
Yeah, I currently being illustrated, but a children's book that I wrote with my experience as being an Indian hockey player. And there's obviously not a ton of us, and just the experience of they're not I think hockey is for everyone, and those kind of initiatives that have started, but kind of putting my perspective onto it. And I've always wanted to be able to have an impact on kids, because when I was growing up, there wasn't necessarily that type of support, for an Indian kid or for kids of other ethnicities. And so just kind of giving a little bit of a story about how, our love for hockey is what connects us all, and that makes us all the same. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how the illustrations turn out for that.
As you mentioned, you were one of the few diverse faces on the ice growing up. And, since we last talked and now we are seeing so many more, not only diverse players, but people taking on roles off the ice as well. What does this mean to you?
To see the different names and the different faces that are coming up in the game and being involved with the game, it's warms my heart really, because being one on a team, for the most part growing up, sometimes that can be very difficult. And it was difficult at times. And I hope that the way that the game's trending, that's not the case nowadays, that there's support systems and there's that representation just throughout the game. And there's a community of people that, that they can feel supported by. And I think that's just a great thing.
Would you be able to share some of the adversities that you did face being one of one?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, more of, what you would think, it's whether it's names or whether it's, getting certain gifts for Secret Santa that aren't appropriate, or, being at an airport and every time you fly, having to hear about security checks or things like that. There's a lot of instances that went throughout my career, and partially why the children's book kind of came out, is because those situations you can really feel isolated, you can feel alone, but at the same time, I faced that outside the game of hockey as well. And the game of hockey has always been a place for me to go and to also feel support. And I think that's you're never gonna completely eradicate it. I don't think. There's always going to be people that have a certain idea about things, a certain feeling about things, but I think it's about having the support, and it's about something like that happens and you have someone that stands up for you. I think that makes such a big impact, and it just creates a ripple effect. And I think when I look back at times like that, I've had some instances that that can sting, but I can also look back and see that there are some times where I've had some teammates or coaches that stepped up and had my back, and those are the things that I remember more so than the bad times.
Yeah, speaking of teammates and coaches, talk about the people in your life who have given you an assist and have helped you make the dream possible.
Yeah, I think family is always going to be number one. I was fortunate to always have the support of my family, and to pursue my goals and my dreams. I was, a younger brother of a hockey player, and so the first thing I wanted to do was to play hockey, and I was always given that chance. And I don't think anyone gets there alone. I don't think anyone gets to any level, whether it's hockey or not, without the support and the help of a lot of other people. I think it's that being able to lean on people and having that support. We're not always at our best, and sometimes you need someone to give you a nod in the right direction. And I've been very fortunate to have that.
Not in the right direction, or morning gratitude.
Yeah, morning gratitude.
Yeah. Good. So tell me about spreading that message of just being grateful. You do it on your social media. I love it. I love seeing the 5 a.m. posts. I'm all about that. Tell me why you want to use your platform to help spread that positive message.
You say platform, and that's kind of how it started, was just realizing that, there was a platform to use, and to use it for good, and not just to sit idly. I always said, if you're going to use social media, why just scroll and do nothing with it? At least engage and see what you can do. And in hockey, you meet so many people, and for that year, you're such great friends. And then after that, it gets hard to stay in touch with that many guys. You have a new team. And so it was a great way to reconnect with a lot of guys that, were really good and close friends. And I think for me, it was a cool way to maybe show, those guys and anyone that decided they wanted to watch those videos that something that they might not know, or maybe something that everyone thought about someone but did never, thought to say. You think it's just obvious, but it goes a long way, I think, to let people know how you feel about them, and maybe the impact they've had on your life. And so the morning gratitude, it would make me feel good, and it led to so many great conversations with so many great friends that it's just become a staple in my day.
It's not about what you have, it's about how you make people feel. That's one of my favorite adages, and it's great to see you leading by example. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. It was such a good conversation.
Yeah, I know it's been such a long time. It was great to reconnect, and as always, I'm always very proud of the work that you guys do, and to have a chance to come on. I really appreciate that as well.